everyone, it's your big bold bad boy Jules with another list for you because I know you love that sweet stuff that we put out. Now before we start, today I'm going to give you a quick biology lesson. This is a peter. They're small, they are easily excited by loud noises, and they sometimes live in shoes. Yet the one thing that I have in common with this creature is not our height or hair coverage, but it's our love for Resident Evil. Now, this is a franchise that's been going on from 1996 and has sold over 60 million... Oh, I see my guest voiceover host has arrived today. And it is, in fact, a peter. I was just telling the boys and girls about you.
Yeah, what are we doing, Walking Dead?
No, not doing Walking Dead today. We're doing Resident Evil. You know, because you love that, clearly, because you've come as a zombie.
Came as a... what? No, it was a late night.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry. Well, this definitely is what we consider to be a WTF moment. And Resident Evil definitely has quite a lot of them, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. There are loads of them. Well, there are loads of games, and within those...
I mean, how many games are we at now? 7, 8, 9, 10 with the sort of Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2?
More than that. There's Outbreak and there's God, don't even...
There's enough Resident Evil WTF moments to make a list, and that is what we're doing today. So with that in mind, I'm Jules, he is Peter, and this is Resident Evil, the top 10 WTF moments in the franchise.
Number 10, Keeper's Diary, Resident Evil. Resident Evil loves hiding lore in books and computers. It's been doing it for decades, and we have to thank the people of Raccoon City and beyond for being so conscientious as to leave their ramblings scrawled all over the place, just waiting to be found. Some of them are genuinely moving and scary in their own right. And then there's Keeper's Diary, easily the weirdest and most memorable of all the memoirs. In it, the unknown author succumbs slowly to the virus and madness, leading to the best line in all written text ever. Fever gone, but itchy. Hungry and eat doggy food. Itchy, itchy, Scott came. Ugly face, so killed him. Tasty. Truly, this person was this generation's Hemingway.
Number 9. That live-action intro, Resident Evil. In order to give the original Resident Evil a more cinematic feel, Capcom decided to shoot a live-action intro sequence to help set the atmosphere for the game. Unfortunately, they decided to shoot it locally, which severely limited their pool of potential actors. Consequently, you've got an officer who reacts to finding a severed hand as though he's gearing up for a sneeze, and a wholly unconvincing Jill Valentine who responds to said officer's death with all the urgency of someone who wants their housemate to come and deal with a spider in the bathtub.
Joseph!
Oscars all round.
Number 8. Chris Redfield dislodges a boulder with his fists! Resident Evil 5. Oh, baby, this was a spicy scene. I don't know how else to describe this other than that Chris Bred for War Redfield literally punches a boulder into an active volcano to form a bridge to get to his partner. It is as mad as it sounds. Man versus rock. It's a war of the ages, and this truly was the moment that the series fell into self-parody. Sure, the other games had toyed with this over-the-top nature in their horror, but here it was unabashedly bashing rocks by hammering buttons. I laughed so hard when I saw this for the first time. The mystique of horror had gone entirely from the series, but I'd be a liar if I said it wasn't utterly dumb fun. Rock on, Chris, you rolling stone.
Number 7. Nemesis, Resident Evil 3. Was there ever a more persistent, irrepressible force in all of gaming than the Nemesis from Resident Evil 3? You almost had to give the thing some credit. It was the John Cena of the Resi franchise. Or at least that's what the script says. I literally have no idea if that stands up as a metaphor. Regardless, old Nemi never gave up and never surrendered, and he was hard as nails to actually beat when you were finally given the option. Truly, by the end of the game, you felt like you'd literally run a marathon in which you were chased from room to room by a guy who looked like a microwaved horse and soaked up bullets like they were nothing. Why does nothing work on this guy? Could have really used Chris's rock-busting fist in this game, I tell you that.
Number 6. A Jill Sandwich, Resident Evil.
Now, usually we just make a funny point in the list and just move on very quickly, but as this scene is so WTF, we thought that we would recreate it for you now. Now, I'm going to take the role of Barry, because I feel like I'm purpose-built for that, and you are clearly dressed as Jill.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, yeah.
Do you know your lines?
I do.
Wicked. I don't have an understudy, so I better know them.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, here we go. So, and scene, I'm in the moment.
The door's opened.
Yep.
And I'm saved.
Okay.
Oh, Barry.
That was close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right.
Barry, thanks for saving my life.
And bow.
And you know what? That's not even the worst of the voice acting in the original game. It's hilarious and awful and kind of the best B-movie delivery you'll ever hear.
Number 5, the Chainsaw Controller, Resident Evil 4. Manufactured by Newbie Tech to capitalize on the success of Resi 4 on the GameCube, the Chainsaw Controller is perhaps one of the most bizarre peripherals ever developed for a video game system. Essentially, it's just a GameCube controller, complete with all the same buttons and analog sticks, designed to look like Chainsaw Man's chainsaw. Judging by the look of the thing, I can't imagine it improves the game in any meaningful way. In fact, it probably makes maneuvering about a heck of a lot more difficult. Still, there's no denying it's wonderfully unique and a fascinating anomaly, but it's a bit weird that you're wielding the chainsaw as the hero, and it's meant to be an enemy weapon. I never understood this. What's going on?
Number 4, Tofu Survivor, Resident Evil 2. Now, I don't know about you, but I played Resident Evil 2 to death. There was something about its haunting setting and adrenaline-fueled encounters that made my spine stiffen and my heart swell. As a kid though, because remember I'll be 30 by the time this video lands, I didn't have access to the internet or even any proper guides of any form, so I was utterly taken aback when I completed the game in under 2 hours with an A ranking and unlocked Tofu Survivor. After playing but 2 minutes of this joyously odd mode as a giant block of tofu, I had but 3 words to say, and you know what they're going to be, based on the title. It was, what is tofu? I literally didn't know. I still don't know. What is tofu? Anyway, this is the weirdest section by far, and the hardest level in the game, so I never actually got to see what you unlocked by beating it, which was this image of Hunk eating tofu. What a reward.
Number 3, the Baker Family Dinner, Resident Evil 7. Resi 7, the very latest of Capcom's pant poopers. This one should still be fresh in your mind. After a brief prologue, our hero Ethan is knocked out by Daddy Jack and brought to the table for dinner. Put that in quotes, editor. Dinner. Cue a deeply disturbing sequence where the player is tied up and introduced to Lucas and Marguerite, who are eating God knows what, before Jack slices Lucas's arm off, to which he hilariously replies, "No, not again," as blood spurts from the stump. What is going on? Jack then stabs you in the mouth with a knife, just because, and you're left sat around the table alone with creepy Grandma Evelyn. It's all very Texas Chainsaw Massacre inspired, but at the same time it proves the game has an unexpectedly campy sense of humour and won't be taking itself too seriously. Also, try playing this moment in VR. 2017 was the year that I learned that motion sickness isn't the only way virtual reality can make you throw up. Sorry about your carpet, Ben.
Number 2, The Merchant.
Welcome. What are you buying? What are you selling? I'll buy it at a high price. Thank you.
Honestly, this guy is one of my favourite characters in all of Resident Evil. He's funny, memorable, useful, which not a lot of other characters can say, Ashley! But also because he has the amazing ability to teleport. No one knows much about him, nor why he insists on helping you for a price, but I'm so glad he does. He's weird and wonderful. He is the Merchant.
And number 1, the Regenerators, Resident Evil 4. The Regenerators, or Los Regeneradores if you want to get serious about this, are, oh my god, they're just completely, oh my f***ing god. Ordinarily, I'd expect a list of what the f*** moments to be full of wild, wacky, silly Jill sandwich entries from start to finish, but number 1 also happens to be literally one of the most frightening creatures in Resi history. And that's no coincidence. In fact, the very reason these guys are so f***ing terrifying is how WTF otherworldly and unnerving they are. Your vanilla Regenerators are spookums enough with their regrowable limbs and wide toothy gob and spine-melting wheezing sounds. But their bigger brothers, the Iron Maidens, take things to the next level with a suit of spikes and twitchy as all hell jaw. Look at this thing. It's WTF manifest, and I still dream about him every night. This.
So there you go. That is 10 WTF moments for this game.
A little bit of a heart palpitation off that, mate.
No, don't
Probably just smashed the mic as well.
Birthday today at time of filming. You're getting old. You're getting old. You have to
don't.
look after that heart. Let us know in the comments below what WTF moments we missed out in Resident Evil. And let us know as well if we should do WTF moments for another game franchise, right?
I'd like to do it again. I'd like to see you dress up more as well.
Oh my god, I could dress up for every single one. Imagine that.
Yeah, let's do that actually. Let's do that. Make this thing a thing.
Great, okay. And of course, like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you. Oh, I've been Zombie Peter from WhatCulture.
And I've been Living Jules.
And we will see you next time.
Brilliant.